Right. Hi everybody, this is Helen, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from Bell Block in New Zealand. Right, I will just make sure, yes, that is coming onto my iPad. Perfect. Just trying to open it up really, but I think it's still working. Yes, it looks like it. Okay, so if you're here joining me today, can you please say hi and let me know where you are joining me from? Okay, so I was trying to work out what to do, and I thought I went through the last chance list and found a couple of items that I think are a great deal, and I wanted to share those with you. First of all is the Textured Notes stamp set. So the stamp set itself is normally $49. It's half price at $24.50 at the moment. This is a stamp set that I've used lots and lots and lots because it's got some great images that you can use to stamp and also some words. They're perfect. And the other thing that is on the last chance list is this beautiful DSP. So this is the Woven Textures DSP, and I've thrashed that. I've got a little bit left here, so I thought I would try to do something with this DSP today. Right, so I'm going to have a play with that, and I'm also going to, I'm just working out what I'm going to use. Maybe that one as well. So there's some really nice images that we can use from here. Well, that's quite a nice one as well. What's that? See, these are pieces that I'd obviously cut for cards at some other time. Really, really nice. Love all the textures. They're amazing. Right, so I'll put those aside for a moment and put the stamp set aside, and I'm going to cut some cardstock and that to create our card. So I'll bring my trimmer in, and I'm going to bring in a sheet of very vanilla. Right, so I'm going to put this in and cut this at 10.5 centimeters, which is half a sheet. Okay, then what am I going to do with the other part of this? I'm going to cut out some shapes, so let me just bring in some dies. Okay, I'm going to, I think I've got a couple of pieces. Yes, I have some smaller pieces, they'll be fine, but I want to use one of the Textured Notes dies. Just trying to think which pattern I want. I want that one, and maybe that one's quite nice too. Might go for that one actually. Okay, so I want to cut that out, and I always think rather than put a whole piece of cardstock through it, it's better off to cut it to the length that you need or the size that you need. So if I cut that at 13 centimeters, it's going to be easier to put through, and I want a couple of smaller pieces like that. So I'll put these bits aside. And I need some DSP, and I think I'm going to use this. Love this. It's beautiful textures. So is that a whole? I don't know if that's a whole. Yes, it is. So I want to cut that at 10 centimeters. I think that will work well. And what's this one here? What size is that? These have already been cut. Oh yeah, that's 10 by 14.3. Right, so that one's perfect. I'll use that. So I have my main card piece, and I have this piece as well. And I've got that one. And I'm going to cut something out of these pieces. So that's just to fit the die on it. So I'm going to use that die on that one. And I may have to cut that a little bit narrower just so it will fit through my little machine. So I'll just cut that piece at 9 centimeters. Hi, Alison's there. Hi, Alison. Thanks for joining me today. Always nice to have you join me. Right, and what else am I going to do? I'm going to score this. I think, let's think how I want it to be. Yes, I might go that way. Okay, so I want to score this at So 14.3. So we'll score that at 14.3. Then what have we got left? We've got about 15, so I need another 7.5 probably. And then from this end, I'll just fold that over. This is what happens when you make things up as you go. You see, you're not sure what you're going to do. I'm going to go this way, I think, because I quite like that pattern. Then I might just fold that back. I might just eyeball it, actually. Let's fold it back to about there. That will do. So, so that's going to go on my card like that. That's quite nice because you get to see the different textures of that DSP. Okay, so I'll bring this in. And this is my main part of my cardstock, which is half a sheet. So we're just going to fold that in half as well. So I love using DSP when you can actually see both sides of it. So it's a nice way of making the most of the two sides of your DSP. Right, and I'm going to bring these in and I'll cut these pieces next. So I've got this one to cut from there, and I'm going to use one of these branches. Is it that one? No, I think it's this one I'm going to use. I know I grabbed some vanilla pieces before. Yes, I'll cut those out of that. Right, now bring my little machine in. It's just good to get all your pieces together that you want to cut before you start cutting. Otherwise you put it out and then you put it away and then you get it again and put it away. Right, so if we start with the larger piece, that one there, and it will just fit. So normally in my classroom I use my large cutting and emboss machine, but I just find doing my Facebook Lives it's so much easier if I can just use my small one on the table here. It doesn't take up so much room. So I will just put that through, and it will probably click a little bit when it goes over the edge like that. That's because it's going over a flat edge. If I was putting that through on one of my larger machines, I'd actually feed it through on an angle, and it's just easier than the rollers having to go over the flat edges. Right, so that's that one done. So we'll just, Amanda did my nails beautifully the other day and I've just ripped one off yesterday. So that's a bit of a shame. So that's that one. And put that aside. And so these smaller pieces, what we're going to do with those is we're going to cut this shape. I think that will be fine for what I need to do. Right, we just need to get it started. Wind that through. I've got my papers going everywhere. That's what happens when I'm using my cutting and emboss machine. It's hard to control everything. Right, that's one, and we'll do another one of those. So I'm doing these both the same size. I think they'll work. If I need larger ones, I'll just cut another couple out. But I think this will work for what I have in my mind. Right. Okay. So put our little machine aside. Put those aside. And right, these are our pieces. Put something on there. You've got a little eraser. Sometimes you just need to use that to get rid of any little bits. Right, so now I'm going to grab my stamp set. I'll put my dies aside. So these have some beautiful words on it. So I think what we'll do is we'll grab I want to thank you. And I'm going to have a little note of appreciation. And I'm going to have this one here. In fact, you know what? I think I don't even know whether I've got enough. Do dies, but I mean enough blocks. I wonder if I can fit that onto something else. I'll put this one onto there, and this one onto here. Yes, that just fits. And I'll just grab one more block, just a moment. I think we'll use all the stamps just to show you the versatility of them. They are amazing. Right, so just put them that way so I can see what I'm using. Okay, so if I start with my words first of all. So on this one here, I'm going to put "You are seriously the best." So I'm going to stamp my words. I always like to stamp my words in your darker colours. I just think when you're stamping in your dark colours, they're so much easier to read. So "You are seriously the best" can go in the centre of that one there. And while I've got the dark colour out, we will do a thank you. And then we may do a little note of appreciation. Right, so those are my words. I'll put them aside. I should bring my chamois over and clean as I go, but never mind, I can do that later. Right, another thing I think I'm going to do is bring in a little piece of scrap paper. And I love this image. This image is beautiful. So I think I'm going to do that one and that. See how gorgeous it is with that, just the difference in the shading of your leaves. It's absolutely stunning. Right, and I think what I'll do is I might bring in basic beige, and I'm going to use that for this one, which is like a little cane woven piece. So I might just put that one onto that piece, and probably on the corners of there and on the bottom corner there. I love stamps where you can just add texture to them by adding different different stamps with different colours. I may use some of this is crumb cake. Might just add some crumb cake along the bottom of there. Maybe some just along the bottom of there too. So this is like a weave as well. Right, that will do with that one. And then let's just put pecan pie. So all those brown shades are really nice. I think I'm just going to put this up there like that. Oh, that's quite cute, like that. I might put this up there, a little bit on these pieces as well. Bring a little bit down from the corner. Oh, that's looking good, like that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna quickly, close this ink pad up, because if Ruth's watching, she'll say, "Close your ink pads up, Helen." She used to always like to tell me off, because I get carried away and then I'm doing other things, and it's like, oh, close your ink pads. Right, so I'm just going to cut around this. Unfortunately, there are no dies for this leaf, but it's absolutely stunning, and it would be gorgeous. I could just stamp it on these images as well. In fact, I might on the inside piece, but I want to have a leaf like this so I can pop it up, because from the ladies that come to class, they know how much I love dimension in my cards, and I'm always popping everything up, and someone will say, "Do we need to pop that up?" And everyone says, "What a silly question. Helen pops everything up." And I do, because I think it just takes your card to the next level if you have beautiful dimension happening within your cards. Right, so we're getting there. It's not taking too long. I'll just cut this, and it's quite nice to have all your elements ready, because then it's just a matter of assembling your card. So what's been happening in the Stampin' Up world? Well, we had the Black Friday sale, which was very good. Fantastic bargains, which was perfect. We've had 2 new kits come out this week, a beautiful little album, like a baby album. Then that's quite cute. I've actually ordered that. I can't wait for it to come so I can have a look at it and see what it's like in real life, because we know that things look different sometimes when they're, you know, when you see them up close. And seem to be some great stickers and accessories with that. So two new kits this week, and we've got new items on the last chance list as well. Right, I think I might bring this little leaf. So I'm going to use it on the front of the card. And I'm just going to do a little bit with the espresso just across the bottom corner, like that. A little bit there. Oh, look at that. Love it, love it, love it. And I might just do another one across here as well. Okay. So as you can see, like putting your different stamps with your different ink colours adds dimension to the look of your cards as well, which is really good because you've got that depth of colour. And I'm just going to have this one. I'm just going to pop that one up on there. Right, so now if we bring our card pieces back, we do have a card that's going to open this direction. And I think I'm going to put this inside there like so. So I'll grab my Stampin seal. So I have so many ladies that talk to me about having so much DSP at home, and I do a lot of product-based DSP classes. I love it. I think it's a great way that everyone gets to learn how to make different projects using their DSP, and you can use as much as you like in a class that way because everyone has their own. So that's going to be the inside of my card, and I'm now going to put that inside there. So this frames it really nicely, so I'll put that in there. I'm going to put this on flat though because it's inside my card. I don't want it to be raised up, so we'll just put that on with a nice border like that. Okay, right, now on the front, this is where we're going to put this piece. So we're going to put tape on there and put that down flat. So it's going to open like this, and it's also going to open like that as well. So we'll just put our Stampin' seal along there, along all the edges. And then there you go. So I've got a nice border of the vanilla around the edge of that. Okay, now I'm going to put in this layer the little note of appreciation. Look how that frames that, really lovely. And all the little colours come into that. So I'm going to put that one down flat as well, just because it's inside. And I'm just going to centre that about there. Okay, right. Then that gives us an idea when we put this on, because I want to make sure that I cover this up so you don't see it until you open it. Now the other thing that I quite like to do is when you're bringing a card, a DSP that comes backwards like that, I quite like to pop that up, and that starts to give us some dimension. So we'll just put a few little dimensionals along there like so. So just take the tops off those. So when you're taking the tops off with your Pick Me tool, because a lot of people said, oh, you do it so quickly. If you push down and then forward, that is what, when you're doing it fast, it's so much easier. So you push down, then forward, and that's the way your tops of your dimensionals come off. So there you go. I wanted it like that. And then I'm going to put this onto here. So I'm going to pop this up as well. But just remember that the piece that's hanging over the edge, you do not want dimensionals on there. So I'm going to avoid that much, and I'll put them down this other part. So I'll just go there and there, and probably about there and there. I'll put another one in the middle. Oops. Didn't do that very well, did I? Now, the other thing is, when you're putting dimensionals on, and this piece is already popped up, we need to double dimensional these last two, okay? So just take that off and that off. And our dimensionals are really good. They stack really well on top of each other. So just put an extra one on there and an extra one on there. Because that is raised up under there, otherwise you're going to have it like on a bit of an angle. So then we're just going to take the tops off, just like that. And if you line that up with that and then put it down, that will sit up like that. And then I've got this little cute one here, so I'm going to pop that up. It just gives another, I want it to come over the edge too, so I've put a little bit of stamping of that same color underneath there, and I'm just going to pop that up. So we're going to put dimensionals, put one in there, and I've got some small ones here as well, so I'll just put a couple of small ones. Now just trying to think where it's going to go. And this one here, again, what we're going to do is we'll raise that up, so we will double dimensional that. Okay, so take that off, and we'll put one on here as well, and I'll double dimensional both of those. Okay, so just grab another small one, place it on top, another one for there, place it on top, and then just take your tops off those and your tops off these ones as well. Okay, now that's cute. Now I wasn't sure what to put on here to decorate. I do like decorating the tops, and I did find some gems. What did I do with those? Oh, I found these. So I think these are still available. I was going to check before I came on board. So these are the dragonflies and birds. I know they were. Haven't checked lately to see if they're still available. But these are something which are quite cute. So I think we'll just go one there and one up there like that. That's cute. Then you've got your little note of appreciation in there, and then you open your card for where you can write your message. So we might just put even a couple more of these in this layer as well. So these are stunning. I love the birds. They're so cute. Isn't that cute? Right. So that is my card for today. So for all of you that are out there that keep saying, I've got so much DSP, I don't know what to do with it. This is a really good card for that, because you're using a third of a sheet for this piece. And then you're using another piece inside as well. So this set of paper is great for this type of card, because both sides of the paper go really nicely together. Sometimes if you've got like a floral paper, the colour behind may not be as nice when you fold it, so just be aware of that when you decide what DSP you're going to use in this type of card. These are great as well. Like this is really lovely, and of course the colours behind that would go really nicely with that. And these are more of the browns, so that's why I did the vanilla base. I'd probably do a white base if I was using this one, and more of the grey colours I think would be really good. So yeah, this is a great set of DSP, and it was $26.25. It's down to $13.12 at the moment. We all like to grab a bargain, so if you haven't got this in your DSP collection, it is a must-have, because it's great for men's cards, great for ladies' cards, great for all sorts. I've used it with some little animals and that for children's cards as well, because it's just textures. They're great for anything like that. So that's my bargain of the day, is this. And of course the textured note stamp set, which again is half price as well. So that's the bundle price. The dies that come with that are the textured note dies, and they must be staying because they weren't on the last chance list, but the stamp set is. And a stamp set is one that's really easy to use for lots of different cards, and just easy because you can just stamp your layers and create great backgrounds like that. Okay, that is my Facebook Live today. Thanks, Alison. I'm pleased that you enjoyed seeing my card. If you make a card like this, please share with us. We love to see what you make. It was really nice. Thanks to Diane last week for sharing her card that she made after my Facebook Live last week. I love seeing what everyone makes. Everyone has different ideas of colour combinations or stamp sets they love to use, or DSP they love to use, and it's always nice to see what you all make. Okay, well, thank you again for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed my card today. I look forward to seeing you again next week at 2 p.m. But until then, you have a great day, and I'll catch up with you next week. Bye for now.